Really, graphing is not the easiest way to solve. It really isn't, okay? Because it's not the easiest way, we usually often do things like substitution, which is going to involve a little bit of algebra. So with our algebra, what we're going to do is we're going to take there's two equations. We take one of them and substitute into the other. Now there's easy substitutions and there's more complicated, tricky ones. We're going to start with the simple ones to start. So we have these two equations. We want to either turn one of them into x equals or y equals. It's your choice on which one you do. Okay, it really is. Now there's easy ones and there's harder ones. So when I look at this, I would not take this one and turn it into x equals, because what's going to end up is I'm going to divide by 2 and I'm going to get these nasty fractions, and I don't want to work with them. So I would not turn that equation into x equals. You're looking for something with a x or a y. So a 1x or a 1y. So you're looking for a coefficient of 1. Write this word down, coefficient of 1. Okay? That's what you're looking for to make it the simplest. So, first of all here, this would be a good one for either x equals or y equals. This one here would be good for a y equals, but it's a little bit trickier because of what? The negative sign, right? The negative sign means you're going to have to do sign changes, so it's just a little bit trickier. Okay, so let's take the first one. Let's turn it into y equals. Actually, you choose. I'm going to choose Hayden. Which one do you want it as? X equals or y equals? It sounds good. I did ask though, that's why. Haha. Okay, so we're going to turn this into y equals. So all we have to do is minus x from both sides. And so you get y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, so try to avoid fractions. That's why we didn't want to work with the 2x. Okay, that would have given us a fraction. And so we have the first equation turns into y equals negative x plus 2. So what we're going to do then is substitute this into the other equation. So the one that we didn't change was 2x minus y equals 7. Okay. So we get 2x minus, and now for y, you got to use brackets when you substitute. Okay. Let's write this down as important as it is. Use brackets when you substitute. If you're going to screw up and make a mistake, this is why. Because you don't use brackets or you don't know how to work with them properly. Okay, so I wrote it big, obviously being stupid, but what I want you to do is just write it small because it is that important. Okay, right here, use brackets when you substitute. So I have my brackets set up. I'm going to take this, what y equals, this entire thing, and substitute it in for y, and I will get negative x plus 2. You got to really, really watch your signs. Now this is where 90% of you screwed up in your factors and products test. So we get 2x minus what? Well, what you're doing is you got to multiply in by negative 1 or add the opposite, change your signs. There's 3 ways to think about it. But this becomes a plus x squared, plus x minus 2 equals 7. And so what we did when we substituted, we went from having 2 variables in our equation, an x and a y, and now how many variables do we have? Just one, just an x. That allows us to solve. So we will now solve for x. So 2x plus x, how many do you have altogether? 3x minus 2 equals 7. 3x equals what? 9. So then we divide by 3. What does x equal? 3, right? It's 9 divided by 3. So what we do then is we're going to substitute that into either of the other equations. So I will show you both. So you can go x plus y equals 2, or use the 2x minus y equals 7. But we will take the x equals 3, and substitute in, and I'll show you both of them work. You would only choose one, and you would choose the easiest one. So this would be 3 plus y equals 2, y equals -1. Over here you get 2 brackets, 2 times 3. Got to have brackets when you substitute. I already mentioned that twice now. And so you would get 6 minus y equals 7, negative y equals 1. And then how do we get rid of the negative y? Divide by -1. And so we get y equals -1. So what is the solution then? The solution is x value, bracket, x value of 3, comma, y value of -1, bracket. So that is the solution. Okay. Any questions? If you do your substitution rule properly and your distribution law properly, you can't get these wrong. Okay. So next one, example number 2. I would not choose this to turn it into y equals, because you will get fractions. And if you choose x equals, you will also get fractions. So I wouldn't even attempt that. And why would you? Because you got to look and think. What are you thinking right now, Zoldy?
Not much, to be honest.
What you should be saying is, well, Mr. Barker, use that one, because that one's already set up as y equals. See how it's ready to go? So you can take that and substitute it in for your y value. So you'll get 4x plus 6 times bracket. And you're going to substitute in what for y? 2x. It's right there on the page. So then you will multiply out. Go for it. Solve for x. Solve for x. Okay. So you should get x equals 3. Now, which equation do you want to substitute in? Do you want to use the bottom equation that's going to be big, hard, and a pain in the butt? Or do you want to use this top equation, which is going to be quick and simple? Right? So look ahead. Plan ahead. Plan. Think. Look at the future. Okay? 2x equals y is way easier to use. So substitute into that. Don't forget to use brackets when you substitute. And so you get y equals 6. So what is the solution? The solution is bracket 3, 6 bracket. Okay, you must have your brackety brackets. Now what are you thinking, Zoldy? Great thoughts. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, obvious things you want to point out? Okay, next page. So a little bit of a trickier one now. Looking here, you've heard me talk and have gone blah, blah, blah. Which letter in which equation do you want to use for your substitution? Trevor.
X.
Okay, so use this one right here? No!
Oh, no, I meant
Yeah, this one is a 1x. That's going to be the easiest. So turn this one into x equals. Go for it. Oh my goodness. Oh man. So you can go 9 minus 6y or negative 6y plus 9. Your choice. Which one do you want me to use?
The easy one.
Which is what?
You tell us.
Well, for me, they're both easy because I know how to track my negative signs. Oh, a bit of an expert, eh? Hayden, you choose. Which one do you want me to use?
The second one.
Second one. Sounds good. And that one's a little bit more tricky because of the sign, the negative 6. Okay. So now what you're going to do is take this and substitute it into the other equation. So you're going to get 3 bracket minus 2y equals negative 23. Okay. And in here, you're going to get negative 6y plus 9. So you have to use your distribution properly, your distribution rule, multiply into both parts. Solve for y. Don't be copying me. All right, you're not learning by watching my work. If you need help, you can look up, but try and do it all yourself. This one you can use whichever one you want. I'm going to use the second equation just because. So I'm going to get x plus x plus blah 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 blah. Okay, I gotta shut her down. Okay, and of course then it's all written there, right? Classic. Okay. So x plus 6y equals 9. You can choose the top or the bottom. What you should note though, Hayden, when you do this properly, usually the math works out pretty nice. Okay. Now 6 times 5 over 2, that's like a gift, isn't it? Because the 6 and the 2 cancel to a 3. Excuse me, x plus 15 equals 9. X equals what? Negative 6. So your solution is negative 6, comma, 5 over 2. Okay. Now, you could do some crazy solutions with this stuff, but let's not. Let's not. All right. What about this one? Whoa, awesome. What would you do? First of all, I would get rid of the fractiony fractions. So what would I multiply the top one by to get rid of my fractions? 3. So I'm just giving a facelift, changing the appearance. And like I said, 3. Oh boy. So times it in, times it in, times it in. So we're going to get 2x equals 1y minus 3. Okay. What about the bottom one? Would 2 work?
Yes.
And it wouldn't because of the 4. It wouldn't be big enough. So 8 would work. Would 8 work? Absolutely. With 2 and 4, 8 would work. But what's the better one? 4. Because 4 gets rid of them both. It's a little bit lower than 8. So multiply into all the terms. And you're going to get 2y plus 4 equals negative 1x. Okay. So then you could go and solve. All right. Which one? Now let's not continue. Let's just stop there. I think that's good enough. Okay. Well, you guys are going to get so much work done today. It's awesome. All right. Good. Any questions so far? Maybe we should solve. Let's solve. Go for it. What can we turn this one into? What's x going to equal? Well, what are we going to divide by? Negative 1. So using the bottom equation, divide by negative 1, and you'll get negative 2y minus 4. Okay. So now you can substitute that into the top equation. So instead of 2x, you're going to get 2 times negative 2y minus 4, and that'll equal y minus 3. Okay. Go ahead, solve that. Well, the next step is to multiply in. So you multiply the 2 inside your brackets using distribution law. So negative 4y minus 8 equals y minus 3. And then you can choose what you want to do here. I'll move the 8 over. So 4y equals y plus 5. And then I'll move my y over. So here I went plus 8, minus y, I get negative 5y equals 5, divide y equals negative 1. Okay. Hands up if you got that. Good. Good job. Okay. So then we can substitute that in into, now what I wouldn't do this. I would cheat. Don't substitute into these crazy fraction ones, right? That's going to be really hard. So let's substitute into either this one here or this one here. Which one do you want to choose? The second one. The second one has been chosen. Okay, either of them will give you the correct answer. So we have 2 brackets plus 4, oh, smart choice, by the way, equals negative x. So we'll substitute in, and that's a negative 1. So then what does positive x equal? So positive x equals negative 2. So your solution is negative 2 comma negative 1. Thing as verify. So you got to take this solution, put it into both equations. So let's have the 2x minus 3y equals 13. We'll do that one here. And then the x minus 2y equals 3, we'll do that one over there. Okay. It's key and important to remember that it's x comma y. So those are the values in that order when you're substituting in. So you'll take the 5 and put it in for x. You'll take the negative 1, put it in for y. Go ahead, substitute in, see if left side equals right side. And you actually have to show your work here. I know it's really hard. So right now it looks like it's a solution because your left side equals your right side. So now it's really important that we do our substitutions here correctly. Go for it.
How do you get a negative 2 and then negative 1 and then equal 3 by 2, right?
Hmm? Oh, you're right, thanks. I added there, didn't I? There you go. So 7 equals 3. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
No, left side doesn't equal right side. So what does that mean? What does it mean? What can we say? We already said that, but what is that? What can we use that to? What does it prove or disprove? Exactly. So what we can say now is 5 bracket 5 -1 bracket is not a solution. And feel free to yell and use capital letters. Okay. So what that proves is that is not a solution. You have to have the proof there. You can't erase it. You cannot guess. You must show your work. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So you have another